I need to confess something that will make you hate me. I cheated on 3 good men. Marcus, who planned surprise dates for my birthday. David, who supported me through a family crisis. James, who loved me unconditionally. And I looked each of them in the eyes and lied about where I'd been, while another man's scent was still on my skin. Every single time I left a trail of signs. Signs so obvious that looking back, I'm shocked they didn't see them. But here's the truth. They did see them. They just chose to ignore them. I'm about to expose every single sign I left when I was cheating, so you never miss them again. Because once you know our patterns, you'll spot a cheating woman from miles away.
Sign number 1, the emotional withdrawal. The first sign isn't physical, it's emotional. We start pulling away emotionally weeks before we ever touch another man. Let me tell you about Marcus, the first man I cheated on. For months before anything physical happened, I started emotionally checking out. I stopped sharing my day with him. I stopped asking about his feelings. I stopped being his emotional safe space. Here's what was going through my mind. I don't want to feel guilty about what I'm planning. If I create distance now, it won't hurt as much when I cross the line. The less connected I am, the easier this will be. This is how emotional withdrawal looks. She stops coming to you with her problems. She stops asking about your day in detail. She gives you surface-level responses. Fine. Good. Nothing much. She doesn't share her thoughts, dreams, or fears anymore. You feel like you're talking to a stranger who happens to live in your house. With Marcos, I remember the exact moment I decided to emotionally disconnect. He was telling me about a stressful day at work, and instead of listening, I was thinking about the guy from my gym. I realized I cared more about this other man's text message than my boyfriend's actual feelings. That's when I knew I was already gone. The cruelest part? Marcus kept trying to reconnect. He'd ask, "Is everything okay? You seem distant?" And I'd lie. "I'm just tired, babe. Work has been crazy." But I wasn't tired. I was already investing my emotional energy somewhere else. When a woman starts cheating, she needs to create emotional distance first, because it's impossible to betray someone you're emotionally connected to. I watched Marcus start questioning his own memory. He'd say, "I feel like we used to be closer." And I'd tell him he was imagining things. Sign number 2, digital protection. What I did with my phone will make you check your girlfriends immediately. The second sign is classic, and yet men still miss it. We become obsessively protective of our phones. With Marcos, my phone behavior changed completely within 12 days of meeting the other guy. Before I started cheating, my phone was just there. He could use it, look at it, whatever. But once I started talking to someone else, my phone became my secret world. Here's exactly how my behavior changed. Face down constantly. No more casual screen-ups. New passcode I never shared with him. Taking my phone to the bathroom, shower, everywhere. Notifications turned off or set to private. Texting with my back turned or phone tilted away. Modern digital tactics I used. Created a secret Instagram account Marcus didn't know about. Used Snapchat because messages disappear automatically. Turned off read receipts only for Marcus, not everyone. Had different notification sounds for different men. Hid apps in folders with innocent names like work or health. The psychological reason behind this? Our phone becomes the gateway to our double life. Every message, every photo, every notification is evidence of our betrayal, so we guard it like it contains nuclear codes. I remember Marcus asking, "Why is your phone always face down?" My response, "I just don't want to be distracted by notifications." But the truth? I was terrified he'd see a text from the other guy. Research shows 73% of cheating women display phone guarding behavior within the first month of an affair. Here's what was actually on my phone. Deleted message threads. But I'd forget to delete them from the notification bar. New social media accounts he didn't know about. Photos I'd never show him. Apps hidden in folders with innocent names. Dead giveaway. Watch how she reacts when you're near her phone. If she gets nervous, quickly closes apps, or angles the screen away from you. She's hiding something. A loyal woman doesn't guard her phone like state secrets. Sign number 3, projection and sudden accusations. The third sign is psychological warfare. We start accusing you of the exact things we're doing. This one is sick, but I did it to all 3 men I cheated on. With Marcus, I started asking him weird questions out of nowhere. Have you been texting other women? Why are you working late so much? You seem different lately? Are you seeing someone? Here's the twisted psychology behind this. Guilt makes us paranoid. We're doing something wrong, so we assume you must be too. It's easier to focus on your potential betrayal than face our actual betrayal. Even darker? If we can convince ourselves that you're also being shady, our cheating doesn't feel as bad. If we can make you the villain, we don't have to be the bad guy. I remember one night I came home from meeting the other guy. Marcus was on his phone, and I immediately got suspicious. Who are you texting? I demanded. It was his mom. But my guilt was so strong, I saw threats everywhere. The projection gets worse as the affair continues. We accuse you of being distant, while we're the ones pulling away. We say you don't communicate, while we're hiding everything. We claim you're not trustworthy, while we're literally cheating. With my second boyfriend, David, I took this even further. I started checking his phone, demanding to know where he was, questioning his loyalty, all while I was sleeping with someone else. The irony was disgusting, but my guilt needed somewhere to go. Sign number 4. Friend group changes and cover stories. The fourth sign involves our friends becoming part of the deception. Our social circle suddenly becomes secretive and protective. When I was cheating on David, my girls' nights became elaborate cover operations. My friends knew. Some approved, some didn't, but they all kept the secret. Here's how this sign manifests. Sudden increase in girls' nights with vague details. Friends act weird around you. She stops inviting you to group events. Her stories don't quite add up. Her friends start treating you differently, either overly nice, guilt, or cold, judgment. I'll never forget telling my friend Sarah I was cheating on David. Her response, I don't want to know details, but be careful. From that night on, Sarah became my alibi. I was at Sarah's. Sarah and I went shopping. Sarah needed someone to talk to. All lies. I was with the other man. Sarah was covering for me. The most disgusting part? David trusted my friends. He believed them because why would they lie for her? He didn't realize that female friendships often value loyalty over morality. Sign number 5. Rewriting relationship history. The fifth sign is psychological cruelty. We start rewriting the history of our relationship to justify our betrayal. This is what I did to James. It was the most manipulative thing I've ever done. Suddenly, things that were never problems became huge issues. You've always been emotionally unavailable. I never felt like you really saw me. We've been growing apart for months. I don't think we're compatible anymore. None of this was true. James was loving, attentive, and committed. But I needed a narrative that made my cheating seem justified. Here's the sick psychology behind it. If we can convince ourselves, and you, that the relationship was already broken, then our cheating becomes the symptom, not the cause. If we can paint you as inadequate, our affair becomes about finding what we were missing. I remember sitting across from James, telling him he never paid attention to me, while he was holding flowers he bought because I mentioned liking them weeks earlier. The look on his face still haunts me. Sign number 6. Physical and intimate changes. The sixth and final sign involves changes in physical intimacy and appearance. We either become completely disconnected or overcompensate with guilt-driven affection. With Marcus, I became completely cold. I didn't want him to touch me. I didn't want to kiss him. I didn't want to be intimate because my body had been with someone else. Signs of physical withdrawal. She flinches when you touch her. Intimacy becomes mechanical. She stops initiating physical contact. She avoids sleeping next to you. With David, I did the opposite. I overcompensated. More sex, more cuddling, more I love yous. I felt guilty, so I tried to make up for it physically. Other physical signs I showed: sudden changes in appearance, new clothes, hairstyle, perfume, working out more, being more conscious of how I looked when going out, new lingerie, worn when not with you. Most telling, post-intimacy behavior. I used to cuddle and talk. Now I'd immediately shower. I couldn't stand being close because the guilt was eating me alive. With James, I had panic attacks after intimacy, not because of him, but because my conscience was destroying me. Our bodies always tell the truth. Even when we lie, our physical reactions expose us. Sign number 7. Why we leave signs and what to do. Here's something most men don't understand. We leave these signs because part of us wants to get caught. Living a double life is exhausting. Deep down, we want someone to call us out, but we're too cowardly to confess ourselves. With Marcus, I got careless, left my phone unlocked, contradicted lies, came home smelling like cologne. Why? Because I wanted him to confront me, so he'd end it and I wouldn't have to. But here's the cruel truth. Most men ignore the signs, not because they don't see them, but because they don't want to believe them. They'd rather live in denial than accept betrayal from the woman they love. That's what I counted on. So what should you do? Trust your instincts. Stop excusing her behavior. Have one direct conversation. Don't play detective. Just ask for honesty. Watch her reaction. A faithful woman addresses your concern. A cheater deflects. Decide based on actions, not words. Protect yourself. Don't beg. Don't compete. Walk away with dignity. Here's what Marcus, David, and James should have done. Confront me. Protect themselves. Refuse my lies. Walk away when I showed them who I really was. Instead, they tried to love me back to loyalty. But cheating isn't about what you lack. It's about who we choose to be. Final notes. I've confessed the 6 signs every cheating woman leaves. Emotional withdrawal, phone secrecy, projection, friend group cover stories, rewriting relationship history, physical changes. If you're seeing multiple signs, trust your gut. Protect your heart. A woman who truly loves you will never make you question her loyalty.